came down to the water, the whole beach surged forward and just formed a big tunnel for him, and it was amazing, you know. He'd done it. He was, with his back up against the wall, he was representing him and the whole family and the whole beach against the world's best, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, bro.
Kobe beat me in that first heat we had, and then the next day, maybe that afternoon, I was surfing and somebody left a note on my car. It said, Kobe's gonna kick your ass again tomorrow, and you know, fucking beat it, Slater, or something like that. And I just thought it was so funny.
Shoot! Shoot!
I was facing 15 years in jail if I was found guilty.
I'm just ringing up to see how that swell is in Tahiti.
I just thought, fuck it, in between all these court appearances, I want to go and surf the biggest waves I can, the biggest waves in the world.
17 seconds, so it looks pretty.
I took Mark with me, and we surfed some of the maddest waves ever.
When Kobe was going for his court and him and Mark were just all over the globe surfing crazy waves, it's definitely when he shone and it shows through all the covers he's got. It's not because he was going through court, it was because he was surfing crazy waves and stepping up above everyone else. And him and Mark were just sort of just going at it, you know what I mean, like hammer and tong. Everywhere they went, they just got the best shots.
Me and Mark, good rivalry. It's dangerous, but it's good. One of us could die one day from it, but I'm ready.
Mate, no one stepped it up more than Kobe, you know. He was like, this is it. I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to throw it all on the line, just in case I never get the chance to do it again. And after his performance at Jaws, Kobe teamed up with big wave legend Laird Hamilton, who'd go on to tow him into one of the biggest barrels ever ridden in Fiji.
Kobe had the thing going. It was his birthday. It's your birthday. Today's your birthday, you know, and he was like, he was going to get his present. So he got his present. I was glad to be the fortunate one to be able to give it to him. I enjoyed it. It was nice, and I had a front row. I was looking straight in the barrel at him.
You want a champion? I'll be a homeboy. I'm a motherfucking #1 champion. You want a champion? I'll be a homeboy. I'm a motherfucking #1.
And it's funny, I listen to Kobe talk, and he thinks a lot like I think. When you get to meet people like that, those are people you want to spend some time in. So when he opened up, you know, an invitation to me to come down under and do some surfing with him and you know, his boys, I'm going to take him up on it.
The period that me and Mark were chasing those really big waves, I've been waiting for that my whole life, and it was really fulfilling. It was a shame that I had so much bad stuff going in my life because I really didn't get to appreciate it.
That was the best one all day. That was the best one all day.
100% of the times whenever I was in court, there was a big swell, and I'd just be sitting in court, wouldn't even be watching the judge, just going, the waves are pumping, I've got to get out of here. Just doing my head in, you know, walk out the door and get on the next flight to wherever I had to be. People don't understand that when I'm in court thinking about these big waves, that's what I do. That's my job. You know, I'm not thinking about going surfing. I'm thinking about going and doing my job and getting paid and supporting my family and doing what I do.
Met up with the lad again. The lad towed me in all the ways. We had a ball.
Cab was so angry and frustrated and had all this stress on his mind, and when he got in the surf, he had that kind of fuck it attitude, you know what I mean? Like, he would just put all that anger and aggression and all that frustration into his surfing.
Kobe leaves Tahiti with his final court appearance in less than 24 hours.
How do you think that'll affect the surf community if Kobe does go to jail tomorrow?
Fuck, it'll really suck. It'll affect the, you know, I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it does, you know, he's gonna lose one of the, you know, surfing's biggest psychos charging pioneers. You know what I mean? Definitely one of the heaviest guys come out of Australia and one of the heaviest guys in the world.
My last day in court. So this afternoon I'll either be in jail or I'll be a free man. We'll see how it goes. Mate, I'll be happy just to get on with my life again. Start trying to do good things for my family, make money and buy houses and, you know, sell them and get my little brother good education and help out the family, the money. Because before this, we're doing really good. Better than my family's ever gone. So, yeah.
Kobe will receive a maximum of 15 years behind bars if found guilty.
Well, what happened today was the Crown prosecutor has formally withdrawn the charge of accessory to murder. He did that on the basis that they felt that they just couldn't win that charge. There simply wasn't the evidence there. And what's left are some what are known as backup charges. As a backup charge of pervert the course of justice and also hinder police. And I think what will happen in the fullness of time is that they'll probably go away as well. But we won't know that for about another 4 or 5 weeks.
That's what? What today?
See all the charges, man. Not guilty.
I'm a free man. Are you happy?
Thrown out of court.
I know why.
We went to court
Went to court
today.
Threw it out.
Hey, Ma.
How good's that,
No jail for your favourite grandson, huh? Hey?
One.
Good relief, eh? One down, Ma. We got one down.
Yeah.
One to go.
Jai's 6-week trial is nearing an end. He has already spent 20 months in jail.
I got off the accessory to murder charge, which is a really big charge, but then I was still really worried about Jai because he had a 30-year sentence, you know. The last thing I wanted was to see Jai go to jail for the rest of his life.
Everyone's stoked and, you know, really happy. You know, it's like sort of one chapter's over, but, you know, it's kind of, you know, still in the thick of the book, so we'll still have to go through.
Did Tony Hines threaten to rape your girlfriend? it was a bad situation to be put in, you know, but I'm not going to sit here and run Tony down and say, oh, he done it, you know, because it's a fine line between telling a story and telling on someone. The only person I had to tell the story to was the jury. The jury know the story. I don't have to explain the story to anyone else.
Cheney had a lengthy criminal record, including entries for violent sexual assaults and other serious violent acts on totally innocent people. He was a very complex character. He could be charming, and that was part of his danger. Through his charm and his intelligence, he could put himself in positions that would make the people that were around him in serious danger without realising it.
I'm just nervous. You know, Jai's really feeling the pressure after it's been a 4-week trial. He's lost 10 kilos during the trial. So, you know, we're just really feeling for him and anxious on a result. Obviously a good result, but pretty much got a feeling that we want it to be over, you know. We're just praying that justice is served and Jai's got a, you know, Jai's got a not guilty verdict.
It's just being away from your loved ones, being away from the ocean, you know. All the young kids and that out there, you know, like, they never will go there kind of thing. Like, for us, we're surfers, and for any kids out there.
This was always going to be difficult. The circumstances of the events themselves painted a poor picture. But it was important for us to be able to get out the facts behind the events that happened.
Oh, mate, fuck, that's stressed.
Do you want it today or tomorrow? I'm going to make phone calls to people to say, yeah, looks like we're going to get one today. How long are you for?
I don't know, mate. It's just... It's just too much to bear right now, you know, to think about exactly what could happen either way. You know, he could either be free or facing, you know, a long time in jail. So it's just... Fuck. So hectic.
Since I was a kid, I've never been apart from Kobe. Since Kobe was born, like, the most I've ever been apart from Kobe is maybe 4 months when he went on a holiday, you know. 3 months he'd only usually go for, so that I was never been apart from Kobe. So I'd see Sonny because he was coming out, and I'd see the boys would come out, so it was good, you know, but I miss Kobe a lot, you know.
From when we were kids, you know, we were always in the same house. We were always together, you know what I mean? Even though he's rumming me every day and bashing me up, mucking around every day, it was still just me and Jai, you know, and Sonny was travelling. When Jai went to jail, I was, inside me was like aching. I wanted to be with him so much, but you don't have to see someone to love them, you know what I mean? And that person doesn't have to see you to know that you love them. And we had you know, a silent saying that we knew that it doesn't matter, nothing can break us apart.
Seeing my grandmother too, you know, like, that was one of my worst fears, you know, like, would this outcome happen before my grandmother passed away, you know? Would my grandmother get to see what really happened and stuff, you know?
really short today, Joe. Tell us how it feels to be free.
Holding that cross the whole time.
I always had faith in God. Always.
So those moments in that car, it must have been horrific for you.
No comment now, guys. The family will be issuing a statement tomorrow.
This jury, and in unheard of scenes as far as I'm aware, they stayed and hugged and kissed him after they delivered the verdict, and if my recollection is correct, even whispered in his ear that they were so proud that he'd been as brave as he was.
I got a call and I picked up the phone and I'm like, who's this? And he's like, it's Jai. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, well, I'm standing out the front of the courthouse. And just started screaming his head off. And it was probably the happiest day of my life. I could not believe it.
Well, I'd be surprised if any other lawyer or any other person who's had to go through the legal system as an accused has put on a party like the Bra Boys put on for us that night.
We got the legal team, turn on!
The party was one of the most moving moments of my life. They formed a guard of honour for us. They cheered and shouted our names. There were women and children there, all people from the community, and it just really made me feel fantastic to have been able to do something like that for a person like Jai.
I thank God to this day, you know, that my grandmother got to be happy, you know, and my grandmother got to see me get cleared and see that, and yeah, it's the best thing in the world.
Now, the jury also had the alternative of finding him guilty of manslaughter if they thought that Aberton didn't think that the shooting was reasonable. Instead, the jury let him walk away a free man.
I always knew like I'd be back in the water, you know, but I just didn't know whether the jury were going to see it for what it was. So it was good to be back. Had all my brothers there with me. It was probably one of the best times.